Hi there, it's May. I decided to try something new. So today I invite you to join me in welcoming this season of spring. Wherever you are, your surroundings are likely changing. Whether you experience the full extent of the shifting seasons that I do where I live in Minnesota, might be different for you, of course. But right here, right now, it is sunny. I can start to see evidence of rejuvenation and growth in the grass that's turning green, in my tulips that just popped up. And I am amazed every year that things come back. And I think that's part of what the seasons teach us. That there's times of the year where we are dormant and more reserved and need more rest and time to really move inward, so that in the season of growth and prosperity we have the energy to endure the longer days with the daylight. And I've noticed that shift within myself. I don't feel as like I need the sleep that I was getting just even a month ago, because the sun gets up so much earlier and I want to rise with the sun. But I'm not getting to bed much earlier, so there's that. So there's a little bit of give and take there, and I'm working that out, as I'm sure that you probably experience the same thing. What I wanted to share today, though, other than that general shift, is that you might be feeling stagnant. You might be feeling kind of like the muck of the earth right now as it is starting to thaw and it's kind of muddy. That is something that is naturally felt by many of us, and especially if you are of a constitution or the doshas as they are expressed in Ayurveda, where you feel more of that earth element just naturally within you and water. And that might be something that you're especially experiencing this time of year. And if that's you, and even if that isn't you, you would benefit, I am sure, from connecting with your breath and connecting with the breath that leads to energy and revitalization and this powerful force to rise. And that breath is Brahmana. That's the inhalation. So making the inhalation longer than the exhalation. Okay, this effect, the energetic effect that it will have on you is like you're ready to go. You're ready to rise to the challenge in the same way that we're seeing outside right now in nature. So join me. I invite you to join me. This will just be 5 minutes, and we'll end with, if you have time, I will share some other things that you might want to try as far as journal prompts, if you have the time to do that, or you can always come back and do that. But before we get started, even with the breath, I wanted to share with you something that I just put on in case you are at all interested. I make these essential oil rollers. This one is the crystal quartz, and it has essential oils in it and sweet almond oil. I also have the information card. I just made these for all my oil rollers, so I'm super excited. And it has all the information you need on them. So when you get one of these, you'll get this card as well. So the clear quartz is an energizing combination of oils, including orange, grapefruit, and bergamot, diluted to 5% with sweet almond oil, which means that it makes it safe to apply to your skin for most people. You're of course going to want to test it. Some people are more sensitive than others, but generally speaking, 5% is a safe level of that essential oil to apply onto your skin, with as long as it's diluted with a carrier oil. So I have the crystal quartz there as part of the roller. It is the roller as well. And I just apply it to my wrists and on like beneath the ears there, kind of on the sides of my neck. And it smells like get up and go. And I kind of rub that together and take a few deep breaths there too. And I like to start my day just right there with that connection with those oils on myself, but also now with my breath. So join me. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat. This can be even in your chair, or you could sit on the floor. Provided some sort of cushion underneath you would be helpful, having those hips a little bit elevated higher than your knees. If you are seated in a chair, you could be propped up against the back of your chair. Just make sure that you have that nice tall spine. And if it's okay for you to do so, I would just even separate yourself from the back of the chair if you're comfortable enough to do that. If it doesn't create any sort of pain in your body, then leave a little bit of space between you and the back of the chair if you are seated. And then your hands can just rest comfortably on your knees and your lap. And then close off your eyes. If you are seated on the floor, your legs crisscrossed, that's also a great option. And again, resting your hands on your knees, closing the eyes or allowing the eyelids to be heavy. And first, just scan and notice what you notice. Observing the body. What do you experience in your body today? Noticing any areas of tension, any areas of discomfort, but also areas that feel liberated and spacious. Not judging, just noticing. Moving through from the soles of the feet, up through your legs, your pelvis, your abdomen, torso, chest, of course the back of your body, your spine, the shoulders and arms, each finger. The chest, the neck and the head, softening the features of your face, the jaw, the eyes, and now noticing the breath. The breath as it enters your nostrils and the breath as it exits the nostrils. Keeping the mouth closed if that is okay for you to do so. If you're having trouble breathing through the nose for any reason at all, just slightly part the lips, almost like you're holding a straw in between your lips. And you can breathe in that manner. Now, to incorporate this Brahmana, this energizing breath, you're going to just start to count the inhalation the natural inhalation. So when you begin to breathe in, just start to count to yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number you comfortably get to before you need to exhale. And then count the exhale, same way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then beginning the inhalation again. Your numbers, of course, might be different. At this point, you're just observing what number your inhalation goes to before you feel that desire to exhale. And same with the exhale. What number do you get to before you have that desire to inhale? Now that you have observed this natural breath of where you're at with your inhalation and your exhalation, you're going to intentionally create length in the inhalation, so making that count even longer. So if you were at a count of 2, for instance, or 3, grow that inhalation to double that, or even 1 more. So if you can get to 6 or 7, And then exhale just enough, so maybe even just half. So moving down to a number of, if you were at 6 for the inhalation, exhale to a count of 3. And then again, inhale to that 6. Exhale to 3. Inhale 6. Exhale 3. If your number was inhaling to 4, you'd exhale to 2. So just making that inhalation double, twice as long as the exhalation. Start to notice how this feels in your body. If there is agitation that is coming with this change in the direction of the breath, you can just let that go and go back to the natural breath. The intention is not to create any anxiety in the body, but just to be really intentional on that inhalation where the energy is entering the body as it rises, as it expands. And just lessening the exhale, or just making it shorter, because that's the grounding, the descending force. And for this kind of breath, you're trying to accentuate the rising, the energy. So if you are continuing with that count of your breath, double the inhalation to the exhalation, you can continue for a few more breaths, or you went back to the natural breath and then you can try again, expanding the inhalation. One more in and out, and then let that go. And now just observe any effects of that breath on your mind, on your energy that you feel circulating in the body. How does the body feel? How has it responded to this breath, to this pranayama, which is intentionally moving the prana, this life force energy, through your body on the breath? So we can influence the energy dynamics in the body just by playing with the breath in this way. There's lots of different things to do with the breath. Right now you're just observing, noticing if there's been any subtle changes for you. Not expecting anything, but just noticing. Detaching from expectation. Just being present with what is. And then go ahead and blink open your eyes. Thank you for trying that breath today. You can do this at any point in your day when you need kind of like you're seeking something to energize you, and you're reaching for an energy drink or caffeine or another external means of getting energy into yourself. I invite you to try the breath first and see how you respond to that. Go for a walk, get some fresh air. Those are all ways to kind of get that energy flowing within you, and especially this time of year when we are dealing with this shift right now. If you have time, you can also, I will have a few journal prompts for you that I'm going to share, but if you don't, thank you for joining me this far, and you could come back to the video and explore the journal prompts later, or come back and do the breath work again. Anything that could be helpful for you, I'm here to assist you. So if there's any questions, just reply to this email and let me know how it goes. Thank you. If you are here for the journal prompts, awesome. go ahead and get a piece of paper out or your journal and start with, at the top of your paper, I always date it so you just kind of can keep track of where you're at in your season of life. So writing the date on there, I think, is just really helpful, but you do you. If there's something else that you want to do to just begin this process, go for it. Maybe you draw a picture. Maybe you draw a feeling that you're having right now. Maybe you grab some colored pencils. I have colored pencils on my desk that I pull in every once in a while because it just seems like that's what the best way to express myself and what's going on and what I want to kind of release. So you can always have that available to you too. It might be helpful. And then after you've kind of decided that, what you need to start, then the journal prompt that I have for you today to write on your paper, to write in your journal, is: this new season is presenting itself to me. What do I want to grow? What do I want to grow? That might seem like a big question. So under that, you could bullet some things to kind of get you going in that regard. Starting with I would do all 5 senses. So what do I see? Look out your window. Look at your surroundings in the space that you're in. Just start writing. This will get you like moving from the rational mind that kind of needs the kind of that physical world to look at, to just have some grounding effect. Go ahead and do that. You could just write that. What you might notice after you just start writing, like, I see my cat, I see 5 books on my shelf, I see the color purple, whatever it is, you'll start to kind of just get your wheels churning, and you might be surprised at what comes out as far as what you're seeing. Okay, you'll go a little bit, you're just opening that doorway to go in. And so start with what you see physical in the physical realm. And then maybe you'll start to express yourself in what you're seeing of yourself. Okay, so what am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I feeling through touch? So this could be, again, like your body up against the cushion or something you're sitting on, the chair. It could be the clothing on your skin. It could be the air passing on your skin. It could also be emotions that you're feeling, something that's cropping up in you. And where are you feeling that? So if it is an emotion, describe where you're feeling that emotion in your body. Smell. What am I smelling right now? So we did sight, hearing, touch, taste. What am I missing? Feeling. We did that. So if you're writing through all of these, just start describing. Just let it flow. You don't have to censor yourself in any way. Okay? And then once you've kind of done that, you can go back to that question of what am I growing right now, or what do I intend to grow in this season? As we take off from spring into summer, that's when things get really heated. That's when we're the most heated as far as being outside in nature in the sun. But you'll feel that also, that passion and kind of driving force inside of you. And that's when lots of things can happen. That's when you're like your most productive. And so getting ready for that so that you know how to use that energy in a very discerning fashion, so you don't feel like you're just burning yourself out trying to do all the things. This is a nice time to kind of just set your focus on something that you want to intentionally grow this season into the summer. Okay, we'll start there. I feel like that's enough. This has been a long enough video. Thank you for listening to the end. I'd love to hear your comments or any suggestions that you might have for another video, because I want to keep doing these. And welcome May, and I look forward to staying in touch with you. Thank you so much for opening this email and for your presence today. May you find your ease of being. my dear.